Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I see all your handsome and beautiful smiling faces. Let me call on some students to read us some answers from their page 1, question 1 and 2. Okay, welcome back, Sean. Hello. Hi, Ian. Hi, Jerry. Hello, Iris. Good afternoon, Miffy. Hello, Casper. Hi, Kate. Hello, Sophie. Good afternoon, Sienna. Good afternoon, Olivia. Hi, Cindy. Gracie. Hello. Hello, Hunter. Hello, Cindy. Hi, Sabrini. I hope I didn't miss anybody. We'll see. Let's see here. I think you got everybody. Hello, Jerry. All right. Okay, guys, let's go back to our module first to start off with, and then we'll jump into our DR. Okay. Before we take a look at our answers, I read to you. You got to hear my lovely reading. I would like to hear your lovely reading, okay? So, Sky could be a girl's name, it could be a boy's name, Ty could be a girl's name or a boy's name. But let's do this. Everybody turn your microphone on, and it's going to be a little bit noisy, but that's okay. And I would like the girls to read for Sky and the boys to read for Ty. Do your best to read together. It will be a little noisy, but that's okay. We can handle it. All right, I'm going to count down from 3 to 0, and I want the girls to start. The girl's going to read for Sky, boy's going to read for Ty. 3, turn your microphone on, get ready. 2, 1, go.
This is my fly. His name is Kai.
Where did you find him?
I went for a walk and I saw him flying outside.
How did you catch him?
I took a dog with me. When I saw him flying around, I catch him in a jar.
Now we are good friends. 它倒了，放到桌上。You have friendship with a fly?
I always Yes, I do. I like to listen to his buzzing sound.
That's very strange. I must go home in a few minutes.
I always thought yes when ugly, but if you look closely, they are very beautiful.
Really? You think your pet is beautiful?
Yes, he is. I have a great idea. I will take him to school tomorrow. He can use his magnifying glass to look at him more closely.
All right. Very nice reading, guys. Very nice reading. So I thought maybe we would read a second time, and we switched. This time the boys read for Sky and the girls read for Ty. One more time, okay? One more time,
Hey.
reading together. Boys, this time you're reading for Sky. Girls, you're reading for Ty. Get ready. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ty,
What is that? This is my fly. His name is Kai. Where did you find him? I went for a walk and saw him flying outside.
How do you catch him?
How did you catch him? Start with me. When I saw him flying around, I saw him flying in the jar. And we are good friends.
You have a friendship with a fly?
Yes, I do. I like to listen to birds sound.
Really? That is very strange. I must go home in a few minutes.
I always thought birds are naughty. If you look closely, they are very beautiful.
Really? You think your pet fly is beautiful?
Yes, he is. I have great idea. Take him to school tomorrow. And you will start to more closely.
Kevin, Ian, you think it's too noisy, right? It is a little bit noisy. That's right. Let's see. So, guys, let's take a look at my answers for page 1, and then I want to hear from some of you. If you had an answer that's very different from mine, you can write my answer. But if your answer is a little bit close to mine, then I want you to keep your answer. Okay? Kevin, please read for me what you wrote on question 1. How did Ty catch the fly?
He caught him in a jar when he saw him fly outside.
That's what you wrote? Is that your answer?
Yes.
That's very good. That's almost the same as my answer. I wrote my answer in 2 different ways. Because it's a long, complex sentence, it has 2 parts. I can say he caught him in a jar when he saw him flying outside, or I can change my sentence and change the parts and say when he saw him flying outside, he caught him in a jar. Okay? I can say it both ways. And please notice that I put a comma in the middle. Then you can easily see where the first part and the second part of the sentence is. Kevin, thank you for your nice reading. Iris, can you please read your answer to number 2? Do you think flies are beautiful?
No, I don't, because I think the flies are ugly.
You think flies are ugly? Okay. Do you think all insects are ugly?
No.
Which insects do you think are beautiful?
Butterfly.
Butterfly. Sure, butterflies are beautiful insects. I think most people will feel that's true. Okay, guys, for number 2, please make sure you have a reason why you say yes or no. Also, please make sure you have a comma after yes or no and a period at the end of your sentence. Okay, my friends? All right, I'll give you just a moment to finish checking that, and then we're going to move on to our DR, okay? In our DR, we're going to start a new story. It's called Stew for Peg. And this story, Stew for Peg, is a lot about friendship. It reminds me of what a good friend would do for you if you had a birthday, maybe. Okay? Iffy, are you okay if I change the page? I guess that's a yes. All right, let's take a look at Stew for Peg. Before we look at Stew for Peg, I want to show you something else, actually. Sorry. I want to show you this page right here. Where did it go? I would like to show you, just a moment. Not this one. Not this one. Not this one. Okay, do you guys see the page from the DR stuff? Maybe you don't see that. Let me try to share it again. Okay, do you see this? It has some yellow in the middle. Hello? Yes, okay, so here's the name of the story, Stew for Peg. It's lesson 29. It's page 123 to 130. And here's what we're going to look for. And I already highlighted it in the last class, so you guys can look at my screen and you can find those words very easily. We're looking for all the words that have a long vowel sound. And you guys are very smart, so you remember what long vowels sound like. They're very easy. Sounds like A, E, I, O, U. And there could be different spellings, lots of different ways to spell the long vowel sounds. So you're going to not care so much about what you see, but think more about what you hear. If you hear a long vowel sound, then that will be a long vowel. Could be lots of different spelling. Sienna, what's your question?
We didn't highlight last class.
Last class, I asked you to do it for homework. If you didn't highlight last class, and thank you for mentioning that, Sienna. If you didn't highlight last class in the story Jack for Beans, Jack and the Beans. Hello. If you didn't highlight Jack and the Beans, then I want you to highlight it today. Jack and okay, well, all right, that's great. Jack and the Beans, you should highlight what you see. No, Grace, you cannot write on the screen. You should highlight these things for Jack and the Beans. In the green, the suffixes ful, ly, and y. But be careful, because we said not all y's at the end of a word are suffixes. You have to think about if you take the ly and the y or the ful away, what you have left over, is that a base word, yes or no? For example, happy, H-A-P-P-Y. The last letter is Y, but that's not a suffix. Because if I take the Y away, I have hap, H-A-P-P, and that's not a word. Okay? Remember the job of suffixes. Their job is to change the part of speech of a word. Okay? And you also need to find these high frequency words: gone, idea, happened, and leaves, in these two different stories. Okay, so in Stew for Peg, we're going to listen for long vowels and also suffixes, ful, ly, and y. Any questions? All right. Let's listen to me read it one time. As I read, you can just follow along, or you can highlight and circle and underline if you want. It's up to you. What you may not do is space out. You may not fa, die. You need to pay attention, okay? So here we go. Stew for Peg. Stew for Peg by Frank Fenn, illustrated by Laurie Hamilton. Joe Owl sat in her cozy home. It was Peg Pig's birthday. Joe had an idea. Okay. Let me do one thing really quick, guys. Sorry. It's a little bit noisy because somebody's phone keeps coming on. So let me change one of our settings here really quickly. I'm going to turn your microphones all off. Mute all of you. Okay, now it'll be nice and quiet so you can listen for the reading. Okay. Let me share this screen with you again one more time. Here we go. Okay, there's Joe Owl. She's sitting in her cozy home. Cozy means comfortable. And she's thinking about her friend Peg Pig and Peg Pig's birthday. The words that I highlighted here all have long sounds, long vowel sounds. O, 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 and I. This story is about friendship, and it's about sharing and doing things for your friends. Peg likes stew, hooted Joe. I will make a big pot of stew for Peg. Jerry, I see you raised your hand. Jerry, do you have a question? Let's just see. I got to turn Jerry's microphone on. Just a moment, Jerry. Jerry, what is your question? Jerry, what is your question, please?
In number 23 page, we don't my page is not same with you.
Yeah, there might be some small differences in the story, but they're not very big differences, okay? If the sentences are different a little bit, you highlight your book the way your book is. So you look for those long vowel words and words with suffixes, okay? Thank you, Jerry, for telling me. Thank you, Jerry. Sienna, do you have a question? Same question? Okay. Yeah, the story may be a little bit different because I have an old file and you have a new book, or you have an old book and I have a new file. I'm not sure, but they're different a little bit, but they're not very different, okay? Any other questions, guys?
No.
Okay, I'm going to turn your microphones off so I can read and it'll be quiet. And then I will have some questions for you at the end, okay? So just follow along, please. Peg likes stew, hooted Joe. I will make a big pot of stew for Peg. I forgot a word here. I'm going to highlight it as we go. Hooted is also a long U sound. Fruit, hoot. I will make a big pot of stew for Peg. Joe was not able to make stew on her own. She didn't know how. She put a big pot of water in her cart and she went to ask for help. Now, I like this idea that Joe has. She wants to make something for her friend, and even though her friend she doesn't know how to make stew, she's going to try to do it anyways by getting the help of other friends. So she brings what she can. She brings the pot, she brings the water, and she's going to go get some help from other friends. This story reminds me of another story called Stone Soup. In the story Stone Soup, the boy makes a soup, and all he has in the beginning is a pot and a stone. But he gets other people to add a little bit, and in the end, they each add a little thing, something little, and then they have a nice soup together. Toby was helpful. He put a cupful of red stuff in the pot. This will make Peg's stew really yummy, Toby quacked loudly. Thanks, Toby, hooted Joe. Okay, again, we have some long vowel sounds. We have some word endings or suffixes here, F-U-L. Now, yummy, you may say, well, why if I take the Y away do I have yum? Y-U-M-M, that's not a word, Mr. Suter. Well, you are right. Y-U-M-M is not a word, but we have to double the consonant like we do sometimes when we add ing. So the base word is yum, Y-U-M. But if I'm going to add the suffix y, I need to double the consonant for the spelling change. Okay? And here is the suffix ly. The base word is real. Real, really. Loud, loudly. If I go too fast and you can't highlight everything, don't worry. Don't raise your hand. Don't ask me a question about it. You're going to have to finish it on your own. Okay? That's a little job for you. I'm just helping you a little bit by having the highlighting on the page for you now. Lulu was helpful. She put a handful of green leaves in the pot. This will make Peg's stew really yummy, Lulu chattered quickly. Thanks, Lulu, hooted Joe. So there's Lulu. She's also Peg's friend. She's adding a little bit to the stew. I'm not sure what kind of animal Lulu is supposed to be. Maybe she's a weasel. Maybe she's I don't know, some kind of animal that lives in a burrow under the ground, because I can see her little animal home here behind her. Maybe she's a squirrel of some kind. I'm not really sure. This one is highlighted in red because this is one of our high frequency words. This word we see a lot. But this also has a long vowel sound. It has a long E sound. Leaves, one leaf, many leaves. It's an irregular plural noun. All right, let's continue. There's Hugo. Hugo is some kind of a falcon, some kind of a bird, friend of Peg's. Joe went back home. Hugo came by. Hi, said Hugo. What is in that pot? It's really yummy stew for Peg, hooted Joe. I wonder how Hugo's going to help. What do you think? Is he going to add something? Do something? Is it hot? Asked Hugo. Really yummy stew must be hot. Hugo helped Joe heat it up. Thanks, Hugo, hooted Joe. This stew smells really yummy. Smells yummy. Okay, Hugo didn't add anything, but he gave some help. He helped to heat up the stew. If you've had stew before, you know that stew is better when it's hot, and that's really true. Stew is like a thick soup. It's like a soup, but it has many pieces of food in it, and the liquid or the water is very thick. That's stew. Joe went to Peg's with her stew. What a treat! Squealed Peg. How did you make such yummy stew, Joe? I had some help, hooted Joe. So there's the birthday stew in the red cart. There's some balloons, a red, blue, purple, yellow, and green balloon. Peg seems very happy. She squealed because that's what pigs do. There are all the friends having the stew together, joining together to enjoy the stew. Thank you, squealed Happy Peg. Thank you all for your friendship. And thank you for this really yummy stew. Okay, I love this story because it's about friendship and it's about sharing. And you guys remember what I told you, right, in the class about sharing? I know some of you remember. Sharing is caring. So sharing is one way that we can care for our friends. And these friends really showed some good caring in this story. So I really love this story a lot. Okay, let me talk really quickly about your homework. I don't want to keep you late. Break time is coming up in a couple minutes. So let's talk about it. Let me turn on your microphones in case anybody has a question. So homework is sentence writing, page 1 phonics, page 1 vocabulary words, 8 sentences. If you didn't finish the last sentence homework, do that also. Please take pictures of your homework and put it into the line group because we don't know when we're going to come back to the school. Number 2, DR reading, Stew for Peg. Read it to mom and dad once or twice for practice. Ask mom and dad to sign it and write the date. Also, if you didn't finish reading Jack and the Beans for mom and dad, you need to read that to them also. So homework, sentences, DR. Finish your DR highlighting, long vowel words and words with suffixes. And then next week we're going to have a test, so you can study for the test also. You can look at lessons 27, 28, and 29, and you can look at all of the stories that we read for those lessons in the DR. I also put a study guide, a very short study guide in the line group. Your mom and dad can show it to you. Next week, I don't know if the test will be online or in person. I don't know if it will be on the computer or in the classroom. If it is on the computer, then I will send you a schedule this weekend sometime about when each person will have their test. Okay? Each person will test at a different time. We'll come online in the WebEx classroom, and one by one I will ask you some questions. But I don't know yet. Is it going to be online or in person, on the computer or in the classroom? So you'll just have to wait until we find out, probably tomorrow or maybe Friday. Okay, everybody, that's the homework. That's what's going on next week. Grace, do you have a question? No? Anybody have a question? Hunter, what's your question? No? Okay, I will put the video in the line group in a minute when it's done. I already put in the video for part 1. So part 2 is coming soon. Okay, my friends, I'll see you later. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a good day. Stay dry, stay warm, be safe.
Bye-bye, teacher.
Bye-bye, everybody.